everybody. Welcome to our favorite time of the week. It's the Ad Age Creativity Top 5 Live, where we look back on the best and brightest ideas of the week. I'm Anne-Christine Diaz, Creativity Editor at Ad Age, coming to you from Los Angeles. And I'm here with...
I'm Alexandra Jardine, Associate Creativity Editor at Ad Age, and I'm coming to you from London.
Meishan Sherwood, Associate Creativity Editor, coming to you from New York.
And I'm Jessica Wall, reporter coming to you from Chicago. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to tell us where you're watching from so we can give you a shout out. And also feel free to share your thoughts about the work that we discuss, because we would love to hear some dissenting opinions and some agreement and some cheers, whatever. Just let us know what you're thinking. So to kick it off, we have some great work from Pedigree. Alex, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so at number 5 this week, we actually have 2 campaigns, both by Pedigree, quite different in execution, but maybe with a similar theme. And first of all, in the US, BBDO New York brought Pedigree's adoption efforts to the hot new social media platform Clubhouse. Now, this was a follow-up to last year's Dogs on Zoom campaign, also by BBDO New York, where people could interview the dogs through video conferencing. And this time they turned to the audio app. They invited the potential dog owners to meet their prospective dog babies on Clubhouse by listening to stuff about them. They could click on the pictures and find out about how to adopt them. And on top of that, Pedigree also agreed to cover the adoption fees for any of the dogs that were adopted through the Clubhouse chat.
But that wasn't the only thing we saw from Pedigree this week. We also saw a different campaign from Mexico. Jessica, can you tell us about that?
Yes. So in Mexico, BBDO Mexico created a clever campaign. This one recognizes how our dogs have helped us get through this past year. And there's some illustrations that seem to be people wearing masks, but if you look at them closely, they're actually the dogs that are helping to cover up their owners' faces. Look, we're their dogs themselves. And so it just talks about how the Poochies have helped us get through the past year. So very cute campaign.
Yeah. I thought this pair of campaigns they're great examples of what Pedigree is able to do. It's such a creative brand. It's a Mars own brand. And they touch every sort of media platform. And they're willing to go out on a limb and go on Zoom and now Clubhouse, but they can also be very simple. And I was really struck by these, just the simplicity of them. I'm a fan of just the simple message that also communicates a powerful theme, which is what the ads from Mexico did. I think those came from a social campaign, and they started in Mexico, but now the brand is looking to bring them to a broader market in Latin America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Mexican illustrations are very simple, but I think that also makes them very powerful, right? It's just a few lines and a few shapes, one color, but you're looking like, oh, okay, I get it. I do wonder, we're seeing a whole bunch of like Clubhouse-based campaigns, basically like experiential type things, and Clubhouse has sort of come under fire recently just because they don't have an Android app. It's iOS only, and that's 70% of the market. So I just kind of wonder what the reach is if you're only dealing with Clubhouse and iOS users.
Yeah. And I'm also wondering how much you get from that experience. I know audio is so huge, but you kind of want to see the dogs too.
Yeah, I think the dogs were introduced in some talks that were actually on a kind of similar theme to the Mexican one about how pets have helped us in the pandemic. So there would be a talk about pets and mental health, and then you'd be able to check out the dog as well.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of social channels, if you are watching on our social channels and you like what we're doing, or I don't know, hate it, I guess, here on Top 5, like, subscribe, share, or retweet this post and let everyone know that you are watching it.
Yes, please do. So next up, we move to another category, which is food.
More animals, yes, kind of, sort of.
What?
More animals? Sort of.
Oh yeah, more animals, kind of. Yeah. You'll see. I don't want to ruin the surprise on this one, so let's just take a look.
Mega tuna Spanish style. Big flakes. No extenders. Rich flavor. Let's go once again, forget. Style Spanish tuna mega. Flakes big. Extenders no. Flavor rich. Tuna mega. That's lots. Mega tuna. Maiinggit sila sa sarap.
So did anyone have nightmares after watching that one?
This is why I love this show.
So that's yet another weird creation from Manila-based agency Gigil, which we know for the bizarre RC Cola ads from last year that showed families enjoying RC Cola in a very distinctive way. You guys have to go back and look at those. But yeah, I mean, you could say that this is weird for weird's sake, but there was a strategy here, according to the agency. So they said that basically the canned tuna category is largely defined by health and wellness and fitness. And this was a challenger brand, and they wanted to attract a younger audience. So they went again with this this comedic approach. And it definitely, I think it gets the brand noticed. What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely gets it noticed. And I think it's a kind of example, we haven't seen this for a while, of how like an everyday brand like canned tuna, you can actually do something very creative with it. And it made me think of it's not the same, but the famous John West salmon ad with the bear. Yeah, completely kind of out of the box idea. And this is even more weird, by the way. But yeah, I mean, we remember that one 20 years on or whatever it was. And I think I'm going to remember this.
Yeah.
In my dreams.
Do lizards eat tuna? I don't know. Do they? I've never owned a lizard. I had a chameleon when I was a little kid, but it's so like, how did you come up with this?
I don't know. Drugs?
I mean, it's so memeable. I have a feeling that a lot of people who like watch this are, I don't know, going to make their own weird versions of it, which is how you like keep the campaign going these days. And really, for me, this spot is about empathy, right? Like, we're all the gecko, and the gecko is us, And so, like, we're just sharing the world with all these other creatures that want to eat tuna with no extenders. So, I'm on board. I'm into it.
What is an extender, by the way?
An fillers? Is that what they mean?
Yeah, additive.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
they mean
like,
it's just the tuna. And in this case, it's just the tuna and the vegetables in the can. Like, there's nothing.
I would call the vegetables extenders. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I can add vegetables to my tuna.
Tam, one of our art directors, did comment on the spot saying he wasn't complaining about the story itself, but he was complaining about the tuna. Like, if you look at it pouring out of the can, he said it looked like cat food. But doesn't all tuna look like cat food?
Maybe that's really good cat food, right?
So we have
his great cat food looks like tuna.
Yeah, fancy feast.
Yeah, he's spoiling his cat. Tam, spoiling your cat.
So we have some shout outs. We have Tolulope and Alyssa, George, Andrea, Amelie, Thanina, and Herbert. Hey guys, thanks for watching.
All right, so moving along to number 3 this week. is an ad for lubrication brand Replens from the UK agency The Gate. Let's take a look at some of these up close. So the tagline is "Sex never gets old," and it is images of old couples embracing and sort of in like all their realness. And we've sort of seen more of these images of like real life and a sort of like real talk when it comes to sex. This one is very sort of like in your face, in a way that we haven't seen quite. We haven't seen in a lot of other places, and I think it's really a campaign of the times.
Yeah, I really loved it. It was just a gorgeous campaign. The photography is beautiful. It's very intimate. And it's just fresh. I mean, not like we see this category a lot, but to highlight couples that we don't usually see in advertising, I thought that was really beautiful. And we've seen, Alex, you've reported on this, several brands and campaigns depict seniors in a new light. Like, life isn't over when you get to 60 plus. And this was just yet another great example of that. Like a while back, we had a campaign for incontinence brand Tenna, which was directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Wait, I'm pronouncing his name wrong probably, but that was beautiful too, because it showed these older women embracing their sexuality. So I think this is yet another fine example of that. What do you guys think? The rest of you guys think?
Yeah, I think
I liked it.
That's okay. You go.
I think the photography is great. I think it looks real. I assumed these were real couples that were part of this. Maybe not even during the pandemic, they would have used real couples for something like this. It just feels very intimate without being creepy, which is a hard line to cross or not cross. And I feel like they did it well.
Yeah,
and
with
it gets
the
the point
subject
across.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is someone at the door? Do you hear that? No?
This is Judge Judy.
Hi.
Wow.
Surprise.
You didn't even ring the doorbell. You just steamrolled right in,
Barged
Judy.
I had both shots, so I can just come right in.
Yay. Thanks for joining us, Judy.
Well,
We
thank-
love having Judy here.
And thank you for that specialized introduction. Thank you very much. And for bringing me on after the 60 plus, but go ahead.
What did you think of that campaign, by the way?
Oh, you don't even want to. I mean, it is. It's beautiful and it was photographed well, but I don't know. It's very intimate, and being of that demographic, it makes me a little uncomfortable, to tell you the truth. It shouldn't, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's
you know.
opening up the conversation, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
I felt like it was a nice contrast to like, I don't know, more traditional ads in that genre. Like think about, old school Viagra ads, where it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
it's a man with white hair and a woman who's probably 50, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
It's
those are
provocative.
creepy. But this was really just respectful and beautiful, I thought.
It's nice to see, people of that age group included in anything, because it seems like we're often forgotten, in a lot of advertising. So that part I must applaud.
Yeah. Well, the reason we wanted Judy here is because she often doesn't agree with what we think on certain things. Like this week we had a Slack discussion over a new campaign from the Martin Agency for Terminex. Can we take a look at some of those?
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex. Termites.
Go back up! Hang on! I am hanging on.
Don't mess up your deck with Tex-Mex. Terminex. Aye, the only way to nix it is to Terminex it. Don't burn down the duplex. Terminex.
So, Anne, you think that's excellent, don't you?
I laughed out loud with all of these. I thought they were hilarious, and the comedy was spot on. They were directed by a talented comedic director, Jeff Lowe of Biscuit, and they're totally absurd. You know, kind of reminiscent of Martin's Geico ads, but they're applied to the bug and pest situation, and I love them because that's exactly me. If I encounter a cockroach or a mouse. Like with a cockroach, I will throw anything at it. I will spray hairspray, Windex, whatever I can to get it out of the way. And maybe, yeah, I would burn my house down just to get it away from me. But
Yeah,
Judy, what did you think of it?
Well, I actually find the humor too broad and too juvenile. I really like Geico, and I can see the comparison, and I think it's kind of a Geico wannabe, but I just don't think it's there. That maybe it'll grow on you, but the whole X rhyming thing and everything, it just seems like it's trying too hard to me. And of course, there's nothing funny about cockroaches, right? I don't know.
But they made it funny. Yeah, they made it funny.
No, I disagree. I think there can be a lot of comedy in like pest control. I mean, not when you have them, but I remember when we had like rodents in our house, the pest control guy told me some really funny stories about what he had done to get rid of things. Like apparently one guy punched a hole in his own wall because there was a dead rat behind it. He couldn't stand the smell.
Yeah.
Ishan, what about you? Because I think you went to the other camp this week, right?
I know. So yeah, I didn't love these when I first watched them, but it's interesting, Judy, you said, maybe it'll grow. And now just watching them right now, I like them more than I did when I watched them before. I agree with Judy in like the sort of like the punny rhymingness. Like I like them individually alone, but you put them all together and I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Yeah. Next, it rhymes. Okay. And I don't. Did they miss an opportunity for a crossover with Chex Mix? Maybe that's coming.
And also Reese Darby, the randomness of
I do really like Reese Darby. So yeah, I was sort of torn.
He totally makes them. I don't think it would work without his accent, without his delivery of those lines. I feel like I feel like if you're not a Reese Darby fan, and you don't want to think about bugs and rodents, just go watch some Flight of the Conchords and you'll be good, right?
I want to know if they also kill geckos, because it really would have worked for the tuna thing too.
I love also the choice of track on that first one, like Digging on You. It was so random, but brought back these waves of nostalgia for me. But yeah, I applaud Terminix and Martin Agency. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I love the ads. I want to see more.
Ishan and I will see if they grow on us, right, Ishan?
Yeah. We'll just keep watching them over and over again.
Another interesting thing we saw this week was the rebranding of Reckitt Benckiser. Benckiser. How do you actually pronounce the second part? It doesn't matter because nobody ever said the second part to begin with. So Reckitt is now Reckitt officially. And they also came out with a new logo. Let's take a look at that. Can we zoom in? Okay. Okay. So what do you guys think of this? Judy, you had thoughts.
Pinterest on Pepto-Bismol. That's what I see. It looks a lot like the Pinterest logo, and the pink is wow pink, I appreciate what they're trying to do, and I like the fact they're trying to bring some life, to a company that markets like Clearasil and Dettol and Finish, but it's not a lifestyle brand. That's kind of like they would probably argue that they are, but it just seems to me to be too pink and too in your face.
Yeah, does anyone have issues with the fact that the word is lowercase, but the logo is seemingly an uppercase R? Does that bother anyone else?
It looks like it's going down the drain.
Oh.
When you make toilet stuff, I don't know. to be
it looks
fair,
a little like an ear to me.
To me, it's like Pinstagram. Like Pinterest and Instagram had a baby because the gradient of Instagram is there.
I mean, to be fair, their old logo also sucked. Like awful pink and like a weird sort of hang glider boomerang shape, but And I don't know. You spent all the money on a rebrand. Like, do a better one.
I don't know how many people actually care about these, though. Rosalita has thoughts, but I think it's weird.
She hates it. She really hates it, doesn't she?
The dogs do not like this one. But here's
She wants a mega tuna.
Here's my question. How many people see the logo? You're paying attention to the Lysol logo? I'm just going to go on mute.
Okay. Okay, while Jessica goes on mute, we have another logo. We had another logo introduced this week, and it was from Smashburger.
Yes.
Can we see that?
So the Smashburger logo, obviously Smashburger, the idea is that they smash the burgers, and now they actually put the little tool into the name itself. There are a lot of chains out there that do Smashburger style, but this is obviously in their name. So,
yeah, can we see the previous logo? Do we have that in the story? Yeah. So I kind of like the simpler version. I don't know, like I don't like it when things get too messy. It kind of went the opposite of Wreck-It, right? It got more complicated. And then Judy, you had thoughts about the color scheme?
Listen, I'd be all over it except for the color. It looks like baby poop brown to me. I'm sorry. I don't really want to eat a hamburger after looking at that.
Wait, but Judy, hamburgers are poop brown anyway.
No, I kind of like mine rare. But but I do like the activity in the logo. But if you made it blue or green, I don't know. Design is not my thing. But I just look at the color and I'm like, no, don't want it. Especially with the, I don't know, the lines in it and everything. Looks too.
Yeah, it looks like a birthday cake to me.
Yeah.
It looks like a birthday cake with candles. I don't see a smasher.
Yeah, you always see the bright side. I see poop and you see birthday cake.
I see the boat. It looks like a little, little tugboat.
I like the new one better than the old one. The old one to me just looks like it's very generic. Like, oh, good burger. Is that where this is?
Good burger. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, moving on to our next food subject, we had a huge story in cereal land. Can you tell us about that, Jessica?
Can you please explain what's going on?
Even I, after a day of reporting on this, cannot actually explain fully what happened. But you may have seen a comedian named Jensen Karp put out a picture on Twitter on Monday that he found some shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And the back and forth between him and the company seems to be getting a little bit interesting. At first, it sounded like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or General Mills was saying maybe it's dried sugar. It doesn't seem like something that came from our factory. And obviously, because he has a big following on Twitter, this became a thing and people were weighing in on it and trying to figure out what exactly happened. I don't know exactly what happened, and it doesn't seem like General Mills knows exactly what happened because they haven't actually gotten the package yet from Jensen Karp. So they're trying to work with him to get the stuff to actually be able to do some analysis of it. Based on what I know about food production, there's no shrimp near the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So this looks like it was tampered with after the fact. I'm basing that on absolutely no knowledge of talking to Jensen or, seeing the actual package, but they're not made in the same place. So,
yeah, I feel. Do you
seem
think
a little fishy? And yes, we should also mention his last name is Karp. We should mention that he is married to Danielle Fishel, who you may remember as Topanga from Boy Meets World. It's all very interesting.
There's just something that's not very kosher about this. I don't know what's going on here. So
I think it's probably a new product introduction, chicken and waffles, cinnamon crunch roast, and shrimp. That will be the new thing.
Actually, shrimp chips are pretty good.
Shrimp chips are delicious. Yeah. Oh
yes.
My God. They're the best chips. He says in his tweet, this is not a bit. But are we sure it's not a bit?
He says it's not a bit, but then he goes on to retweet a lot of people's jokes about it. Again, I don't know.
Did he actually taste them, or he saw them and didn't taste them? Because I would like to know how they taste.
I don't want to know how they taste.
Maybe,
Ugh.
Jessica, maybe you can get them to send you a sample and then you could taste it on air.
Live.
You guys are going to have to tune in every week to see when this might actually happen.
Yes.
Hopefully never. But yeah, it's an interesting story. And the story that I wrote was not just, hey, this comedian tweeted about Cinnamon Toast Crunch shrimp. I looked at what brands should do if they find themselves in one of these kinds of situations. So if you are an Ad Age subscriber, you can check out that story on adage.com. It's an interesting issue, especially with packaged food brands that have these social media followings. Cinnamon Toast Crunch isn't necessarily the most chatty social media brand, but there are a lot of brands out there that have these followings and have a little bit of snark to them and all of that. So then when you see something like this happen, how do you deal with the actual food safety and guidelines and regulations and all of that? It's a totally different way of communicating with your consumers. So,
yeah, that's fascinating. Especially too, if you don't already have a certain kind of voice out there, do you start having a voice? I don't know.
Right. And I should note that art on the story was done by our colleague Tam, who we mentioned earlier. That's an image from an ad that has been running for Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but obviously he replaced the part in the middle there. So thank you, Tam, for having a little bit of fun, because everyone's been having fun with this story all week. So
I wonder if Tam finds that more appetizing than mega tuna.
We can bring them on next week and answer.
Yeah. Anyway, we have more shout outs. We have Maliko, Steve, Hadeja, Haley, Tara, Fuad, and Melissa. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. And our final food story, we have another tie-up, which seems very exciting to me. Jessica, please tell us about that.
This feels like the missed opportunity of missed opportunities. Pepsi and Peeps combine. What would you call it? It's so obvious. It's right there. Peepsy.
Okay.
Peepsy. But it's not called
But it's
Peepsy.
not. It's called
Pepsi X Peeps or Pepsi and Peeps, however you pronounce that X when there's collabs. This is marshmallow flavored soda, everybody. And it's real. I actually had a question. Ethan, our colleague Ethan, wrote this story, and I was like, Ethan, is this an April Fool's prank? Can you ask them? Because it's coming out right before April Fool's. That's how fake it sounded to me. But it's real. You can't actually buy it, though. You have to try to win it on social media.
That sucks. But I bet it just tastes like vanilla Pepsi.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Call.
Thank you, Haley. Peepsy. See, it's right there in the name.
Yeah.
Again, maybe there's some copyright issue or branding issue, and people from Pepsi and Peeps are going to let me know. But come on, guys, it's right there. It's there for the taking. But there are major Peeps fans. There's a Peep exhibit in Wisconsin in a museum. There's all kinds of Peep stuff, and obviously, it always gets a lot more attention leading up to Easter. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the Peeps mac and cheese. I'm sure that'll come out next week, right?
Yeah. Peep people are intense. I just feel like, I don't know, I can't imagine this would taste that good. Like, stick a Peep in Pepsi and you just end up with like a weird foamy mess. So, I don't know. I don't really want to drink
what I was thinking of? I don't know if you ever did this, but you know how Twizzlers have the hole, and so you could use a Twizzler as a straw?
Oh.
Somehow you could like make a Peep straw. I don't know. There's something to be done with that, but
Peeps boba.
Peeps boba. There you go. See?
I could get on board.
Anyway, okay, let's get back to our official list, our official countdown. If you want to check out all the work, by the way, we're going to throw up a QR code that you can snap in. It'll take you straight to the story. I can
go on this next one.
Yeah.
So I saw this ad this week. This one's from Johannes Leonardo. This is for Adidas. And Kermit the Frog has a new friend. Why don't we watch the video, or at least part of the video, and get a sense of what's going on here.
They say every problem has a solution. You might wonder, am I too small to change this whole world? Am I the only one pitching in? Maybe someone needs to make the first move. Being green isn't about what's easy. Sometimes it means trying the road less traveled.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Being green can be something big that's just too hard to miss. Or even doing the little things that end up making a big difference too. If we all do our part, we can make the world a better place. A greener place. For the next person to walk in our shoes. It's not easy being green.
But nothing great ever is.
So that is the real Stan Smith sitting with Kermit the Frog and talking about the new Stan Smiths, which will be made from more sustainable materials. I think the upper part of the shoe is going to be from recycled materials. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, but I think just anything with Kermit, right? It's just,
Oh yeah. No, I
anything
know. I
with
love Kermit. I heart Kermit. And when I first saw that spot, I was thinking, is the green on the Stan Smiths off? Like, why is it lighter than the regular Stan Smiths? But it turns out Adidas has actually come out with a new line themed around Kermit and other Disney characters, which was another cool aspect of that spot. If you watch carefully, there's a bunch of Easter eggs. There's Baby Yoda. There's even a scene of Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, plus other stars who appear alongside Kermit and Stan Smith in the spot. I thought that was fun. Oh, the one weird thing is, did Kermit's voice sound off to you guys? Did it like drop? It's deeper now. That's not like real Kermit to me. That's not real Kermit voice.
I mean, real Kermit voice doesn't exist anymore, right?
Yeah, I know. Stop.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit like it was Kermit doing an impression of Barack Obama to me. There's like the deepness and like the smoothness of it. But yeah, it was.
That's a pairing that I would like to see in an ad.
Yeah.
I am going to say one thing about this. Kermit doesn't wear shoes.
But now he does. Now he does.
Although, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Kermit was actually on The Masked Singer last week. He was in one of those costumes and he was singing and he was unmasked. Yeah.
Oh my
Was he
God.
wearing Stan Smith?
It was the most amazing moment. It was like he was in a snail. He was dressed as a snail. They moved the head off and there was Kermit under the snail.
Like a tiny headed Kermit?
Yeah, he was just, he sang.
Oh my God, now I have to watch that show.
Yeah.
Oh, and that wasn't Baby Yoda, by the way. It was actually real Yoda, not Grogu. That was real Yoda, right?
With the woman on the shirt?
Yeah.
She has a,
Was that-
yeah, that was real Yoda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I said Baby Yoda. It's all Baby Yoda in this in this era. But yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Oh, there he is. News you can use.
Judy, you turned us on to a new show.
Oh
an
my
old
God,
new show.
yeah. See, I'm very high class taste.
But anyway, that was a cool new campaign from Johannes Leonardo. Just the work that they've done for Adidas Originals has been fantastic. And this is another cool campaign. So for our final piece of work that we'd like to look at, Alex, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I will. Number one this week, it is Dove. And they are continuing to promote their Real Beauty campaign across other brands' commercials in a new campaign from Lola Mullen-Lowe in Madrid. And in this case, they worked with independent casting agencies to secure auditions for diverse actors for other major brands like Krispy Kreme and Ned Bank. Let's take a look at the spot.
I'm too dark. I'm too short.
I'm too thick.
You need to be thin.
I will not be a good fit.
You're not what we like.
Over 2,000 companies in 51 countries have already downloaded the images that you worked on.
That is amazing.
Welcome. Nice to meet you. I'm Bonnie.
Muy bien, casting de Belén, toma uno.
I am going to be on a casting tape. I'm quite enthusiastic about this. I've seen some phenomenal women. Thanks for coming in today.
¿Puedes ver directamente a la cámara, por favor?
Be yourself. And action. Hi, my name is
Mi nombre es Ana Belén Hernández Cayetano.
My name is Mpo and I am 21 years
My
old.
name is Bijmelo Chwedi and I'm 29 years old.
Do you think you're bold enough to put me in your ad?
Choose me to star in your ad.
Elíjanme if you choose me.
And show me as I really am?
That will cover the cost of my appearance fee.
It's a free cost, but it's using them as they are. And I think that's the most important thing.
We chose Boitumelo for this execution. She just suited the role so well.
It is very overwhelming.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of myself.
I'm a model. I was part of something historic.
There is different kinds of beauty. All of it deserves to be shown. All of it deserves to be represented in the right kind of way.
And I think this is the time for the challenge.
So uplifting stuff from Dove there, and I think kudos to them that they keep finding ways to bring something new to this campaign, which has been going for so many years.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. It's like a decade, maybe, right? Or 8 years.
At
I
least.
don't know.
I think I remember going to the launch of the Dove, and it was a long time ago.
And it's so creative, and they keep finding ways to keep it fresh. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Not to play devil's advocate, but I do wonder if it's coming at a time when more advertisers are being diverse with their talent already. I mean, it's an opportunity, like it's a great time for it to happen, but did it happen because brands are more open anyway? And I also would have liked to see what their ads had looked like before, what sort of people they'd been featuring.
You mean the brands that put these models in?
Yeah, like Nedbank and Krispy Kreme and Magnum. Actually, Magnum has featured a lot of like traditional, beautiful types in their ads. But yeah, but it's another excellent expression of the Real Beauty platform, and it's astounding how Dove manages to find new places to deliver this message.
And I think that's a good point. What you don't want to have happen is brands that are already doing a good job saying like, hey, wait, we can get some free talent, because then those are people who are not ending up somewhere else. I have a feeling, though, this does make it easier when you're on a creative team and you're trying to advocate for this. And you're pushing people forward, and like other people on the team or like higher ups might be resistant to it. And you're just trying to figure out a way to do it. And it's nice to be able to be like, I mean, also free would be great too, and whatever the reason that the models are diversified, for whatever reason that happens, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Free plus added promotion in another brand's ad. But anyway, thank you, Judy, for being our special guest. Thank you, Jessica, for, I guess, becoming a regular, for moving in. And Alex and Alex and Ishan, as always. And thanks also to Anna Sakula, Max Sternlicht, Alfred Mascaroni, our super production team, and Elise Lefrang, who's doing our social. And thank you to all our audience for joining us once again. You can check out more work at adage.com/creativity. And the QR code also will take you straight to the work that we discussed here. And thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll have a great weekend and we'll see you next week. Bye.